Hey guys, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss season 2 of Scream Queens, which should be called Hospital. So the plot, it's a 10 episode season. Jamie Lee Curtis's character of Kathy Munch was a dean at Wallace University in season 1. She got an honorary doctorate degree and then opened up the Cure Institute, which is it used to be LA Hospital before they tore it down. I know Ridiculousness did an episode in there, Ghost Adventures did an exploration there. It was a nice abandoned hospital filled with ghosts and such, so they filmed there prior to it being torn down. 2016 is when the season aired into 2017, so they covered a little bit of election stuff, not a lot of it, but anyway, the premise is Captain, can't even talk, Dr. Dean Kathy Munch opens the Cure Institute because she thinks she's dying. She might potentially have the Kuro disease, which is a brain-eating disease from eating human flesh. Turns out she doesn't. She's just dehydrated because she has nothing but scotch or vodka. That's it. No water of any sort. So we have John Stamos coming in as a Dr. Brock Holt. We have Taylor Lautner, who's awesome, coming in as Dr. Cassidy Cascade. We have Billy Lord coming back as Chanel number 3. We have Abigail Breslin coming back as Chanel number 5. We have Chanel Oberlin, played by the one and only Emma Roberts. Keke Palmer comes back as Eddie Williams. Who else? Kirstie Alley is in this. She plays resident nurse Hoffel, who is actually Agatha Bean's sister. Agatha Bean is the one who Chanel Oberlin burnt her face off in the fry oil in season 1, so she's out for her revenge. So the premise is Taylor Lautner is the baby in the belly of a man who was murdered in 1985 and thrown into the swamp by a careless doctor wearing a green meanie costume. So his mother enacts revenge, very similar to what we saw with Gigi raising Boone and Hester. Hester, played by Lea Michele, makes appearances in this as well as I forget her name, but she plays the one and only FBI special agent Denise Hempfield, who gets electrocuted at some point but comes back to life. That's the other thing. People keep dying and coming back to life. It's a hospital setting, right? So there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of medical deaths. One girl gets all the blood drained out of her. It's very, very entertaining. Colton Haynes does a guest appearance in one episode, playing this guy covered with all these warty tumor things. A lot happens. And then Glenn Powell comes in for 3 episodes as Chad Radwell and then gets viciously murdered by Weston, who was Grace's father in season 1. So Weston is enacting his revenge because Gracie went mad and wound up in a Stanford mental health facility because of the Oberlins, of Chanel Oberlin and all the other Chanels, of the torment of Wallace University's Red Devil. But my issue with this season is the timeline is not accurate because they keep referencing 2 years ago was college, 2 years ago was college. But they keep saying it's 2016. But college for them was 2015, 2016, and then they get to the hospital. So that's not 2 years, right? It should really be 3 years. So if the events of them being freshmen in 2015 at Wallace University, 3, possibly 4 years of college going into then medical school, grad school, as Zede says, that would be 2019. So the timeline doesn't add up, but whatever. I'm nitpicking here. It was fun having 3 green meanies, as it was fun having 3 red devils. It ended very similar to how season 1 ended, with Chanel being scared by a red devil who turned out to be Chad in the season 1 finale. But then season 2 finale, Chanel gets scared by a red devil, which my assumption is Grace if they had a 3rd installment, which they didn't, and that's fine. But I think I really liked seeing Taylor Lautner as playing this doctor murderer redemption seeker who gets then killed by a machete. He has this one random aspect of doing martial arts by a swamp, and Taylor Lautner is great with martial arts. He's been doing all of his kicks and flips and bow staff spins since he was a kid, and it's fun seeing that because Tyler Posey and Taylor Lautner have similar body types, have similar looks, so when they were kids, they would always go to the same auditions together, and they were friends. So it's nice knowing that little, behind-the-scenes thing. Me being a fan of Teen Wolf, talking to Tyler here and there. Never met Taylor. I'm assuming he's a nice down-to-earth dude. He seems to be out of the spotlight, so I'm assuming a nice down-to-earth dude. Scream Queen Season 2. It was really good. 3 episodes short of Season 1. If they did a Season 3, I don't know what could have transpired aside from Hester escaping with Dr. Brock to Blood Island. And again, Grace is probably going to be, would have probably been the new Red Devil coming into effect. Did you see Season 2 of Scream Queens? Did you approve of it? Did you like it? Did you like all of these high-named actors and actresses coming into fruition to be nurses and doctors and murderers and serial killers? Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Join the discussion down below. Mucho mahalo, guys.